It was the height of the Cold War. The oceans were silent battlefields, where submarines carrying nuclear weapons lurked unseen beneath the waves. In March 1968, one of those steel giants, the Soviet submarine K-129, vanished without a trace. What followed would become one of the most secretive and bizarre stories in military history. K-129 was a Gulf II-class ballistic missile submarine, loaded with 3 nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles, and crewed by 98 men. It departed from its base in Petropavlovsk, on the Kamchatka Peninsula, for what seemed like a routine patrol across the cold Pacific waters. But just weeks later, it stopped responding. For the Soviet Navy, it was a nightmare. A nuclear-armed submarine was missing, with no distress signal, no trace, and no survivors. Panic rippled through Moscow. Search vessels were sent in every direction, but the Pacific is vast, and their sonar returned nothing but endless silence. Yet, halfway across the world, the U.S. Navy had picked up something strange, a massive underwater explosion, detected by its secret hydrophone network designed to track Soviet subs. The Americans had located the approximate area where K-129 went down, deep in the middle of the Pacific, around 1,500 miles northwest of Hawaii, nearly 16,000 feet beneath the surface. This was an incredible discovery, and an opportunity. The Americans realized they could attempt something that had never been done before, recover a Soviet nuclear submarine from the ocean floor, in total secrecy. The operation would later be known as Project Azorian, one of the most daring covert missions in CIA history. But first, they had to build something extraordinary, a ship capable of lifting an entire submarine from 3 miles underwater, without the Soviets ever finding out. Enter billionaire Howard Hughes, or at least, his name. The CIA approached Hughes to provide a cover story. Publicly, the ship would be a deep-sea mining vessel, designed to harvest manganese nodules from the ocean floor. Secretly, it was built for one purpose, to grab the wreck of K-129. The ship was called the Glomar Explorer, an engineering marvel like nothing the world had seen before. It was built with a gigantic claw, nicknamed Clementine, that could descend to the seabed, grasp the sunken sub, and lift it to the surface. Every bolt and rivet was a part of the CIA's boldest heist of the Cold War. In the summer of 1974, the operation began. The Glomar Explorer sailed to the spot under heavy secrecy, its crew pretending to be scientists. Beneath them lay the K-129, silent and frozen in darkness since 1968. The massive claw was lowered slowly, hour after hour, through miles of crushing pressure and pitch-black ocean. After days of tension, Clementine reached the wreck. The sub's body was twisted and broken, but the claw managed to grab hold. The crew began the long, slow lift. Inch by inch, the Cold War's most valuable relic was rising from the depths. But then, disaster struck. As the submarine neared the surface, the claw failed. Part of the K-129 broke apart and plunged back into the abyss. Only a small section, the forward compartment, made it aboard the Glomar Explorer. The CIA retrieved 6 bodies of Soviet sailors, which they buried at sea with full military honors. A video of the ceremony was later given to the Russians, a rare gesture of respect between bitter enemies. But what exactly did the Americans recover from that wreckage? That's where the real mystery deepens. Some reports claim they found cryptographic equipment, codebooks, and nuclear warheads. Others say they recovered only minimal material, that most of the valuable intelligence was lost when the submarine broke apart. The Soviets, of course, were furious when they discovered what had happened, years later. But by then, the CIA had perfected the art of secrecy. When journalists tried to uncover the story, the agency issued its now famous reply, "We can neither confirm nor deny the existence of such an operation." That phrase, the Glomar response, would go on to become legendary in the world of intelligence, symbolizing the perfect Cold War cover-up. As for why K-129 sank, no one truly knows. Some believe it suffered a catastrophic missile explosion. Others suggest an accidental collision with a U.S. submarine like the USS Swordfish. A few even whisper about a mutiny, a rogue commander trying to start a nuclear war. The truth remains buried under miles of water. Decades later, both the US and Russia have declassified fragments of the story, but not all of it. What remains is a tale of courage, secrecy, and tragedy. A story where two superpowers fought for dominance not in the skies or on the land, but in the cold, silent depths of the sea. The K-129 mystery is more than just a lost submarine. It's a symbol of how far nations would go during the Cold War, how secrecy, technology, and paranoia shaped a world on the brink of destruction. And somewhere, deep beneath the Pacific, the remains of K-129 still lie, a rusting tomb of Cold War ghosts, forever guarding their final secrets. Subscribe to the channel for more untold military and tech stories like this one.